minutes.
What kind of fucking bullshit is
Dude, he does this every week.
The bad news is that civilization is crumbling around you.
Wear a dog mask, cut your dick off, bomb Palestine.
The good news is that you are not alone.
There's butthole shaving videos.
Feel bad for the minorities in LA for having to deal with the white people in LA.
You have 5 till midnight, live every Monday at 8 p.m. where you join 5 Limp Bizkit Americans to laugh at the absurd nonsense of the end of history.
Shit show right there.
Sam, stop it!
All right, everybody. Hello, and welcome back to your favorite Monday night show, airing every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We are honored to have our dear friend Red Hawk with us. Red Hawk, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right, fellas. I was just thinking over the weekend, I really want to get my mind off of the horrible murder that occurred last week. So what can I do but just fill my schedule up every night this week with podcasts with some of the best guys in the scene? I was like, you know what? I need some laughs. And we've already had some backstage before we started. So.
I really wish I could say what the first thing I heard was as soon as I came into the room. Tonight, but that would definitely get us pulled from YouTube, as much as I want to say it. But speaking of getting pulled from YouTube, everybody should make sure they go check out our Patreon channel. We have a whole bunch of ideas brewing for Patreon shows, and of course, we just filmed one last week. We're gonna be filming one this week.
Honestly, the Patreon is so much better. Not having to worry about this shit.
Up.
We can say whatever the hell we want.
Boom. That was our last episode. Typo did a great job with us.
And this one was actually not that well. It was honestly a pretty good historical discussion. We did do some advocating for slavery, not like in general, thinking about all of them. People in America, which most of our audience is, they just think of transatlantic slavery, which it is not. It is many things.
Yeah,
but we got some bangers in the tank that we're going to be doing.
There are some bangers already up. We've had a lot of fun. I love not having to worry about what I say.
The very
super based, by the way.
We say
the
some
very
wild
first,
shit.
The very first episode was definitely probably one of the better ones because it just the foulest of foul language you could possibly imagine was dropped in that episode. So, if you're not on the Patreon, you're definitely missing out. And Hawk, I figured you probably would have liked last week's episode that they have up here. I know we've talked about it a little bit, and your commentary is always much appreciated.
You know what's just so amazing about this is that no matter what you guys discussed on this podcast, it's not remotely as bad as what left-wingers were calling for on every single platform in the last week. And all of them are completely allowed no matter what. And most of them are teaching your kids and, injecting yourself with vaccines at your nursing office. And so, it's just two-tier system.
Well, so speaking of nothing ever happens, last week it didn't seem like really much happened, which in case people can't really pick this up and being sarcastic. I want to get everybody's genuine reaction because we haven't talked obviously since last Monday other than the Patreon episode. So I guess we could kind of go around the horn here and get everybody's kind of just initial reaction and kind of where they were at and what they were thinking, kind of do the whole 9/11 moment. So Typo, why don't you start off since you're first up?
Great. I'll do that. Well, honestly, my honest reaction, at least at first seeing it, was I just didn't believe it at first. I did not and then the first thing I saw, the very first clip was the zoomed in one, was the up close. I didn't even, I was just looking at our group chat and someone dropped it in our group chat. And cause I don't know, I was at work and I was like, no way. And I had to go to Twitter and look at it. And, clearly from the video for me, it was I don't think this guy made it. It was pretty brutal and there's a lot of blood. But no, I was just, struck and, honestly, I was probably a big Charlie Kirk fan, probably back in 2016 to 2019-ish time frame. I never met the guy or anything, but when me and Luke were on university for our very brief time at a university, the only it was the height of Donald Trump's movement, in 2017. It was more his excitement. So everyone was either massively in support or there was just this crazy leftist freak out every day. And at university, it was the worst. We were in the Marine Corps. So in the Marine Corps, it was this huge enthusiasm. Everybody was loving it. And then me and Luke went to university, and it was like the exact opposite. It was like I don't even know how to explain exactly, but there was just protests every day. My classes would turn into debates all the time. It didn't matter what it was. And, you know, that's when I loved his videos, because like it would turn into a debate every class, and he would give us like, you know, little clips or one-liners or just like decent arguments. Like, you know, in my gut, I knew a lot of the things that I was hearing on university was wrong, but I just didn't have a way to articulate it, or the knowledge or the experience to articulate it. And like videos like Charlie Kirk and people like him at the time was just very helpful. So it was just crazy. A lot of my family members reached out to me, like asking me if this is true, if this is real. And, you know, it was impressed by the amount of family members I had that actually knew who he was. But no, it was like really sad. And that was my initial reaction at first. It was like, oh my God, this guy that I've been watching for years is like gone.
Mm-hmm.
And all he did was challenge, like, I've seen a bunch of people justifying what happened to him, which is evil, by the way. It's completely unacceptable. And it's become more acceptable in certain circles, more mainstream circles, which is absolutely insane and unacceptable to the highest degree. But you can talk all the crap you want about him, that he goes to colleges, but he was offering a different perspective that was not being offered at colleges. And to certain college students, many of them, that is paramount to violence. Like we've seen, we've seen like signs. I remember seeing a protest sign that said "Silence is violence." So that's even further, which is if you're not actively supporting this, you are being violent, and violence justifies violence. So if you argue that someone is being violent, that argues justification of violence against them, and that's what happened here, and that's what is shown by this graph here of the acceptability of political violence amongst specifically liberals. This is like, in a lot of situations, it's both sides of a problem that do this. In this case, no, this is a liberal problem in America. This is a U.S. poll. The question is, do you generally consider it to be acceptable or unacceptable for a person to be happy about the death of a public figure they oppose? And most U.S. adults, even liberal adults, to be clear, oppose it. But 10% of not even very liberal, but just liberals in general, 10% think it's okay, and 17% aren't really sure. So that's almost 30%, 1 in 3, that thinks it's okay to celebrate death based on opposition to beliefs. These people are sick, and they're it's more like 1 in 4. 1 in 4, 25%. You get 4 liberals in a room, and one of them doesn't know if it's wrong to celebrate someone being killed, their children murdered, their wife widowed. They're not sure that it's okay that that's wrong. That's 1 in 4 that are scum, that are not equipped. They're not prepared. They're not mature enough to live in our society. And them and their beliefs need to be out of this country. And I'm not advocating for violence because I'm not like these fucking people. But I am saying that I don't want to share a country with these people, and they need to be stamped out.
True.
You know, that 1 in 3, 1 in 4 number that you're talking about there, Sam, is really, really important, because people seem to think in their minds that the way that a lot of these revolutions and cultural change shift works is when you get over that 50% mark. And that's just simply not the case. All of revolutions throughout history were actually done by organized minorities of people. The French Revolution was not 50% of the population. Even the American Revolution, only around 30% of the colonists at the time actually supported revolution with the British. So this idea that, once you get over 50%, that's when you got to be worried about it. It's like, no, this is like 1/3 of all leftists in this country. That's a huge fucking problem, man.
Yeah. My take on it was, well, first I got to stretch my arm out. Hold on, my arm hurts. Hold on. I just got to stretch my arm out real quick. All right, so my take on it.
You're an idiot.
My take
You should have raised your arm just a little bit higher.
A little bit higher. It doesn't
That's a good stretch.
shoulder hurts.
Hey, we've all seen Kyle. All right, he's right here.
No, it's like I thought I was already pretty radical, and I didn't think anything could really radicalize me more. And then that close up of him getting, again, I was a cop. I saw a lot of fucked up shit in my day. I knew right away he was fucking DOA. There was no coming back from that. I mean, I've seen less gunshot wounds, like less brutal than that. People die. So I was like, well, he ain't coming back from that. And it just makes me be like, no quarter for these people. Fuck them. I don't care anymore. Like the fact that these people have the balls to use their government names on social media with their jobs linked to their thing and being like, fuck you, fuck Erica, fuck those kids. What are we supposed to be like? Okay, well, you're using your First Amendment. Fuck you, dude. I don't care. You made the rules of the game. Now I'm going to play by the rules of the game then. You want to play that? Fine. And you want to go to violence? Guess what? We'll win that shit too.
And anybody who's actively advocating against getting these people fired is an enemy. They're a moron and an enemy, and they need to shut the fuck up.
That's 100% true.
We are well past the point of, oh, we don't want to be like them. No. If they're going to play like this, if we're playing a game and there's different rules for the other side, you fucking lose. And winning matters more, especially when the consequences of losing are us being murdered in the fucking street.
I mean, to put it to like the normie perspective, my wife is a normie. She's she's conservative leaning and all that, but like she's not. And we talked about this before on the show with my wife. Like she's not like super into it. That fucking changed her overnight. Like overnight, she's like
a lot of women who felt the same way.
Yeah, she's like, when are we raising arms? And I'm like, yeah, now you get it. Like all me telling her for 2, 3 years, 4 years, like you're not getting it. It took that for her to be like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah, definitely a lot of women have kind of just been saying, go and fix this now.
Right.
Since last week. I didn't really know this, but I'm kind of like not really surprised at this point, seeing a bunch of like Charlie Kirk clips throughout the last week. But a lot of women really like this guy. For some reason. Maybe he just maybe because he was like kind of more normie friendly and kind of like kind and stuff, he attracted them to him.
6'5".
Yep, there's that too.
And wealthy. That's why.
Yeah, there's certainly that too. Yeah.
He used to train with Jimmy Garoppolo as a quarterback camps.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Dude, I told Typo sent sorry to interrupt you, but Typo sent a video to our Instagram chat that I have with Cole, and it was fucking Charlie Kirk's highlight reel playing basketball in high school.
Yeah.
And it was like, first he was like, how did they get this footage first off, and where did they get this footage? And my thing was, I was like, he's 6'5", and he decided, white dude that can shoot threes, and he decided to be a political activist. What the fuck is wrong with you? Go play ball.
Well, that's not big enough to be in the NBA.
Yes,
6'5"?
Yes, it is.
It's not big enough to
All
be
he
in
has
the
to do
NBA.
is
Point guard,
what are
shooting
you
guard. Yes, it
talking-
is.
Shut up.
Without like also exceptional talent, like that's short for the NBA.
All he had to do was shoot threes. No, it's not. No, it's
White
not.
guys make careers in the NBA shooting threes.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, Luke, your turn. Go.
Look, I was kind of in the same boat as Typo. Saw it.
It is the average height in the NBA.
Oh, man,
is
let it go.
6'6"
Sam, let it go. Sam, stop.
6'6". Shut up.
Why am I getting what? Why didn't you tell him to shut up when he starts arguing back to me? What the fuck? Why is this on me? Tell both of us to shut up at least.
All right, both of you, shut up.
Look at average. Look at average white dude. Average height of white dudes in the NBA. It's shorter than that. We get benefits, because we can shoot threes. No, anyways, I thought
They don't do it.
when I first saw it, I saw the up close. Of course not. When I saw it up close, and I was like, "Holy shit, he's dead!" Like, just immediately was like, "He's dead." I thought, to be honest, I was like, there is going to be not riots in the street, but like armed people at like government buildings tonight. Like, that's what I assumed. Because it's just the climate has been so poor in the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Like since 2016, with the way that they've treated conservatives in general, it's like, well, they're just waiting for, like, if Donald Trump had gotten when he got shot, like, and if he had died, like, I think we would have been in the middle of a civil war instantly. And I thought this was just about as close as you could get to Trump without actually hitting somebody in the government. And I just assumed we would, like, I was going home and I probably wasn't going to be able to go back to work, especially here in Arizona. Like, Utah is where he was at in Utah is like less than a 7-hour drive, 6-hour drive. Everything that Charlie Kirk has done started here in Scottsdale and in Tempe, Arizona. I was like, we're going to see like death in the streets, and this could be the powder keg that sets everything off. And I'm, as horrible as it is that he was murdered in the way that he was, assassinated in the way that he was, I'm happy that wasn't the case, and conservatives reacted in a more reasoned approach and restrained approach than I would have assumed. And maybe that's because I'm just a cynic in general, so that's why I thought that they would react in that way. But it's just sad. I was just sad. Like, not like personally, I wasn't sad. I was just sad for like him. I wasn't a huge fan of him, not because I thought he was like a horrible person or anything. Just more didn't pay attention to him as much anymore. Didn't agree with some of the things that he would say, especially on Israel and some of the other things.
Odd that when he started shifting on Israel is when he died, by the way. Very, very
we can get into that, but
we can get into that. And we could get, and I see that as well. I obviously didn't follow him closely enough to see that shift out in public, but regardless, I was just like, it's sad to see the reactions from the left. It's sad that 2 children lost their father. It's sad that a wife lost her husband. And along with Adam's point, like, my fiance, dude, instantly overnight was like, we're going to everything we can. Like, we're going to the Charlie Kirk Memorial on Sunday this week here in Phoenix. Well, we're going to try to. It's going to be fucking gigantic. But, she was like, this is what we're doing. And I was like, all right, like, I guess like we can go to do all these things, but it radicalized her overnight in an instant. So yeah. I don't know. Awkward. It was crazy. It was sad.
I guess when I first saw it, I saw in the OGC chat that someone linked Oren McIntyre's tweet that said, "I'm just getting reports that Charlie Kirk has been shot." And after a couple of minutes went by, I saw the long shot video of it where you couldn't really see the actual graphics of it, and I kind of knew right away just by the sounds of the bullet in the distance. I was like, oh, okay, this is bolt action, high powered rifle, something like that, and it didn't look good. And then a couple of minutes later, I saw the close up shot, and I'm just like, oh, he's just dead on the spot. There's just no way. And I kind of got mad over the next hour watching everyone kind of just ambulance chase, saying, "Oh well, he's stabilized. He's receiving blood." I was like, guys, just get the fuck out of here. There's no way. You literally just see his way his body reacted. That bullet split his spine in half, just blew out half of his neck. He was done instantly. Which I guess, if for nothing else, we could say that the man didn't suffer because he was just done right away.
No, thank God we couldn't see the back. Thank God we couldn't see the backside.
No. So really, really horrible stuff. Obviously, I took it hard for about 2 days. I barely slept I slept maybe a cumulative 3 hours over those first 2 days because it's just hey, I run events kind of similar to what Charlie does. I get up on stage. This very easily could have been me. It could have been my friends. It could have been many, many other people that I know. And I think that's the most important thing really to take out of this is that Charlie Kirk, he was a moderate by all means, man. Even somebody who's more well known in the conservative movement, somebody Candace Owens or Tucker Carlson or somebody those people are more radical than Charlie Kirk is, and they're definitely more popular in the conservative movement. But no, this was the guy that they killed. So it literally means that everybody who basically has your grandparents' politics is a target to these people. And it's not a joke when people say that, oh, the left wants you dead, and they think it's funny. It's not a rallying cry. It's not a meme. It's 100% real, and they're not going to stop. And what's most important now is to have a singular, unified message from all people with all of our various autisms and fractional infighting on the right, just saying, listen, the goal right now is literally to just get as much as we can in the short period of time possible to destroy the left. And it's going to require some really, really big actions from the Trump team, the Trump administration. Some of them have been signaling in the correct ways, others not so much. But They just have a very, very short period of time right now. And quite frankly, if they don't do something about this, then honestly, like, there's no reason to like be supporting Trump after this stuff. If they can't protect their supporters, let alone like, and it's not just their supporters, right? It's their political allies and their personal friends at this point, you know. And it's like, and if you can't do something about this, man, then what are you going to do it for? And at that point, it's like, okay, I'm just out, man. I've voted for Trump 3 times. I've been around since like 2015, 2016, right from the very beginning. Charlie Kirk was around even before that. And it's like, dude, if you aren't going to do it for in a situation like this, then like, what's the fucking point, dude? You know?
Agreed.
Yeah.
I fully agree with that, man. I mean, like, this is like, you know, I think you shared it, Red Hawk, in our chat, and it was Sam Hyde's video.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is Sam Hyde.
That was excellent. That was absolutely excellent. If people haven't seen Sam Hyde's video, you have to go and watch it. He's 100% right.
It's really so good. I mean, the clip of like his opening monologue, like a 2-3 minute clip of his opening monologue, it set the tone. And I mean, he's right when he says like, this is you. Like, imagine Charlie Kirk as you. And then imagine, you know, that girl. I'm terrible with her.
Irina Zarutska.
Yes. Yeah. Her.
Just say the Ukrainian girl.
Your wife, your sister, or your wife, your sister,
daughter.
That's what he said. Wife, sister, or daughter. And you know, then these people like jump with joy and they get excited and they're happy about this, and that's how they view like. You know, it's true. Jeff Dice used to say this all the time, and he always said it, but I didn't really understand it, but it made sense after this. And he said, like, the left is serious. Like, they mean it. They mean it when they say, like, when they say Trump's a fascist, like, conservatives would laugh at that. We would make memes about it. We would laugh. We would think it's stupid. We thought they were being ridiculous, but they mean that. And they mean that about his supporters. And they mean that about Charlie Kirk when they say like, you're this fascist, and like pretty much if they're throwing the fascist word around or Nazi or whatever, that is like a call for like, this person can be killed or should be killed. Right. That is what they're saying.
Absolutely.
I mean, their monikers are like punch Nazis, kill fascists, shoot fascists. Like, they're not fucking around.
And
it's to equate you with anti-humans, essentially.
Right. And that's to everyone here and everyone listening, most likely. They think you are a fascist. And most of you aren't. Most of us aren't. But they think you are, and they think that they should punch you and end your life. And they think it's funny.
Yeah, I think conservatives in general really like to make this mistake about the universities. And this was a huge big deal in like the 2017, 2018, 2019, like destroy SJWs kind of content stuff. It's like, look at these ridiculous college students and the stupid stuff that they talk about and stuff like this. But I mean, and yeah, it's fun to make fun of these people because of the stupid shit they say and how like weak they all look, and they're all like kind of like, skinny fat. They got no muscle. They're all like really weak. As soon as they get in a fight with like Proud Boys and stuff, they get knocked out instantly and stuff. But dude, I mean, this shooter was in a tranny group chat, living with a tranny, fucking a tranny, and he got his hands on a 30-06, and he's just as deadly as literally like anyone else, dude. So this idea that, oh, well, look how kind of pathetic these leftoids are and stuff like this. Look how stupid they are. It's like, dude, it really doesn't fucking matter because, this country has more guns than people. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like, that old Sam Colt quote, right? It's like, God created men equal and Sam Colt made it so, it's like, there's more guns in this country than human beings. And it's not, an advocacy for gun control stuff, even though I'd be totally fine with putting Troons back on the, mental qualifications for not having a gun, which I'd be totally fine with. But that's besides
for other reasons.
It's so funny to me that I've had many people argue with me about that exact point. It's like, no, I don't think gun manufacturers or gun, merchants should be able to sell people like that weapons, because if you can't check off M or F on a piece of paper, then clearly you're not fit to handle a gun. But to the question I asked everybody earlier about their initial impressions, I'll just kind of give my piece real quick, was that I've gone after Kirk quite a bit, but like as soon as I saw the first video I saw was a close-up video, and I'm like, oh dude, this is fucking awful. Like it's just like, we can't continue to live like this. And as I thought about it more and more, it's like, well, now that you killed the moderate guy, you don't get moderates anymore, because everybody that was to the right of Kirk now realize like, oh, if they'll shoot the moderate guy, I don't even know what they'll do with me. And what they would do with me is probably a lot worse. So now this means, you know, you're going to get much, much worse solutions, if you will, at least much worse from their perspective, where it's like, no, some of you guys aren't going to have the same rights as other people, or you're going to get oppressed, because when we let you have the same freedoms as everybody else, this is what happens. You kill the moderates. So I'm reminded of a quote, and my friend Brad said this. I don't know who exactly said it, but basically, like, if the moderates won't enforce the laws, then eventually fascists will. And I think it's only just that they do that. If this is going to be how we do politics in the 2020s, then yeah, eventually, you know, fascists or fascist adjacent, or however you want to put it, people are going to have to force and, you know, clamp down on this kind of stuff, because you can't have a society like this. Like, I refuse to raise my daughter in a world. Yeah, right. I refuse to raise my daughter in a world where, oh yeah, this is just normal. A moderate guy who's talking to people about political issues just gets his neck blown out in 4K right in front of his wife and kids. Like, that is not a world that anybody wants their children living in. And whatever it takes to stop that is going to be necessary, and it's going to hurt some people's feelings, but like, we cannot have a country like that.
And to go back to like saying how these people want us dead and stuff, Sam, I got that video, Destiny, if you want to pull that up for me. Thank you, sir. Just listen. This is what they all think. All of them. So I'm going to play it real quick. This is a panel
of like the absolute worst people.
God, there's not a single person on this panel I like, except maybe Kasparin, because she's fuckable at least.
Agreed.
All right, here we go.
You've been quite active on social media since Charlie Kirk's death. When Erica Kirk posted Charlie's coffin, you responded, she tagged him, brackets, crying face emojis. In response to Alina Haber's tweet ordering people to fly their flags at half-mast in memory of Charlie, you posted on X, buying flags and poles just to fly them fully erect. And you then posted yesterday, ending every conservative debate call out I do in 2026 with "Don't dodge, bro." That's not what Charlie would have wanted. I mean, do you think that your response to the cold-blooded murder of Charlie Kirk has been appropriate?
Yes. I think that the only way this country moves forward into a better world is when conservatives can finally realize that they need to turn the temperature down on their side. We are 10 years into whatever this Trump madness is.
They're the ones shooting people.
Single
fucking fuck this
conservative
guy
that will call for a lowering of the temperature on their side. I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term. Every time he's in office, this happens. People joked about when Biden came in, it was so boring, nothing was going on. 7 out of 10 of the largest protests in American history have happened under Donald Trump. All of the recent political violence that's happened in this country over the past 20 years, the majority of it, the overwhelming majority of it, everybody gets mad because they keep asking Grok about it, has been conservative.
Who shot Charlie Kirk?
A guy from Utah who was raised in a Christian family, who was a 22-year-old
guy
white
described.
Dude. He wasn't trans. He didn't have a trans girlfriend. He didn't have any trans influences. He didn't have any trans bullets. Yeah, I'm sorry. You guys were wrong on all of that.
To be clear, the governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, has made it clear that their investigation has now established that he had been radicalized by a leftist ideology, which drove him to do this. That's just
I'm sorry. Excuse me. When?
Yesterday, he said.
I hate this man. I hate this man so much.
In the 6 months that he did remote college?
I don't know when he was radicalized, but I do know. I do know the very reasonable sounding governor of Utah has made it clear that the you may not want to hear this.
Ongoing investigation.
You may not want to hear it, Destiny. The reality is the investigators, according to the governor of Utah, have established that he was radicalized to a leftist ideology that drove him to murder Charlie Kirk. Now, let me just ask you.
That's not true.
Let me just ask you.
There's no way to deal with it.
Okay, you're accusing the governor of lying. Yeah. That's your prerogative. But sure. If it turns out to have been somebody with a leftist ideology who wanted to shut up Charlie Kirk, would you condemn that?
I won't condemn anything until the president of the United States can go on air and say, all of us need to calm down.
So you won't condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk until Donald Trump says something.
I'm a YouTuber. Leftists and Democrats have been condemning and turning down the temperature, condemning violence, turning down the temperature for a decade.
Yeah, okay.
What are you talking about?
Can you tell me why he cannot?
Why would you expect anybody?
I've seen enough.
Let me so real quick, one thing that just annoys the shit out of me every single time a tragedy happens, and I threw this out there on Twitter and on Facebook as well, is just like, as soon as something happens, people can't wait to jump on the corpse and tell you why you're a bad person if you don't completely agree with them. But I think everybody here would be absolutely right in saying that, like, the media is largely responsible for this, and leftist media and really leftists in general are kind of responsible mostly for this. I'm not going to pin 100% of the blame on them because there's obviously a million factors, but like, when you constantly refer to people, like we said throughout the show, fascist, Nazi, racist, bigot, all the names under the sun,
literally
what it means in society today is that, like, you deserve to be ostracized, and the eventual conclusion of that is you deserve to be killed, right? And that's what the left has done, to Donald Trump and to Donald Trump supporters for the last decade. So you don't get to say, like, oh, well, we should calm down now. Well, why were you calling everybody a racist, bigot, and homophobe for just, disagreeing with you about taxes or about how they vote? Maybe that was a more appropriate time to talk about calming down. But now, I'm sorry, we don't have calm anymore. When you shoot somebody in the fucking neck in 4K and everybody has to see the amount of blood that comes out of that man's neck, and then see his fucking wife cry her eyes out, she's fucking send him to rest
and laugh about it.
Yeah, we don't have calm anymore. Now isn't the time for calm after, you've taken shots at, enough people on our side.
Literal.
When
shots.
When you let like 10 different mini subcultures in a country define and redefine words and what they mean, when those words have consistently meant in our history that people that are associated with those words should be put to death because of how dangerous they were earlier in the history of our country, and you get to redefine those words and put it to a large majority or not even just a large population base of our country, 50% of our country at minimum, like, that's where we get these issues. Like, you can't do that. You can't let a majority of or a minority of 5% run how and change how our country is, how we speak to each other, how we define the words that we use to describe evil. Like, it just doesn't work, because when you do, they get to control everything after that. And it doesn't, like, I talked with some normies here and family members and stuff, because they all reach out to me because I'm the conservative, like, I'm the crazy conservative in the family. And, I was the ANCAP at one point that was like, black flag, I don't give a fuck about your sky flags. And that's how I was. And I've changed from there, because there's something that this country was made for. And there was something about this country that was good and created one of the best civilizations that have ever existed. And we're totally just throwing it out because we're letting literally subcultures in our country that are less than 10% of the population, probably less than that, run it. And it's insanity to me.
I mean, this clip that we just showed right here is the perfect reason and example that was just highlighted in the last week, how discourse is just totally dead with these people.
Yeah.
I despise this kind of like debate bro culture. I mean, it's kind of funny how this clip showed like the two worst culprits of this, Destiny and Andrew Wilson, all at the same time with this, one from one side, one from the other. But this retarded thing that these people do, where it's just literally a frame game, and no matter what happens, they just will not cede frame. It doesn't matter how many times they lie, how many times they just double down on everything. There's just no dialogue or no discourse with these people. And I think one of the things that we really, really need to stress here with people who are falling back to like constitutional arguments here like this. I mean, listen here, like, the Constitution is a legal document. It's not a moral one. All right. It is not good for a society to have tens of thousands of nurses, doctors, teachers, government workers, people who are driving school buses with your kids. It's not good to live in a society with all these people who are dancing on the graves of wanton murder of a man in front of his wife and children. It's just not, dude. The Constitution is not going to say anything about that. But guess what? It was made for a country with a certain population and a moral population, more crucially, and we just simply don't have that anymore. So falling back to this constitutional stuff that, oh, well, we need to support free speech. Absolutely. It's like, motherfucker, like, no, we don't, dude. I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to be, the Constitution is not going to be a straitjacket for me. I want to live in a sane world. I want to live in a safe world. I want to live in a world that allows me to actually have a family, have people that, have people that I know that are safe to walk around college campuses, for God's sake. The time for these arguments with, we're talking about discourse being dead with the left, but discourse is dead with the right too, man. I don't want to fucking hear like Rand Paul or James Lindsay or any of these other losers, talking about how, oh, well, don't look back in anger. We need to tone everything down all the way. It's like, dude, just shut up, man. Like, I'm here to win.
Yeah.
And live.
I have
And
one
be
more
safe.
quick clip, Sam, if you want to pull that up. From this scumbag.
Kill those motherfuckers and murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods.
That's who we're going up against. People like that.
Yep.
Mind you, people like him, Hassan, Destiny, Vaush, everybody on CNN and MSNBC have been preaching this stuff literally nonstop for the past decade, and all the institutions have been behind them, all the big tech people behind them, until Elon bought Twitter, which is nice, even though he really hasn't gone far enough in my opinion, but that's fine. We take what we can get right now. But just this idea like, oh, the left has been toning things down and Donald Trump really just needs to keel over and stuff. It's like, just no way, man. I'm not talking with any of these people anymore, man. There's just no dialogue to be had. It's all on the attack now. Destroy leftist NGOs, seize university endowments, throw journalists in prison. All of the lawyers and judges and activists who cover these people's depravity need to be removed and disbarred. The Democrat Party needs to be disenfranchised from its voters, which includes mass deportations, redistricting, voter suppression. Everything that you need to do is just completely on the table with these people.
Well, it sounds like there was a whole Troon terror cell that helped coordinate this fucking attack too. So also Trump, he's like, I just saw again today, he's being like, oh, we're going to make Antifa a terrorist organization. Bro, he said that 2020 and he didn't do it. Like, what is it going to take to actually label BLM, Antifa, Troon terror cells, whatever you want to call it, like an actual terrorist organization?
Orrin McIntyre had a really, really good point about this. He's like, if you guys could do this over anti-Semitism, you should absolutely be able to do this right after they shot one of your biggest supporters right in the neck. There's no reason you can't do this if you could do this for one special group. This man, they've said before, they would not be in office without Charlie Kirk. Okay, act like it.
Yep.
I think that's a simple as.
There's a 46-point turn, 46 points of young men ages 18 to 21 to Donald Trump since 2016. 46 points,
That's
man.
a lot.
Right.
Yeah, that is absurd.
Over the last week, because of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, 4.2, I think it was a 4.2 million swing from Democrat to Republican in just registrations because people left the Democratic Party. And that's what I think there is groups on the left, especially the moderates, that are like, well, there's a lot of things that I agreed with Charlie Kirk. Like, I'm not that crazy, and they watched him be murdered on live television for espousing those same ideals that they agree with. And they were like, oh, no, this isn't my party anymore. I'm gone. 4.2 million swing. I think that means 2.2 left and 2.2 gained on the right. And that's insane. And there's people that are realizing it. And I mean, a lot of us, we realized it before, most of us here, but there was the swing during COVID, and that swung a lot of voters back to the right in general, because they were like, yo, what the fuck is this? And then, this is just another one. And I think the left is going down. The problem with the left is that it's controlled by 10% of a subculture, and the Democrats are controlled by that same subculture, and so they will continue to fight it, and it's the most dangerous of that subculture, so there's no getting around it.
Remember,
I think Pete actually made this point. I'm pretty sure it was Pete, but he said that he thinks that the inmates run the insane asylum. Like, it's actually their most craziest like most ideological group, and even thinks that like some of the like actual Democrat politicians or even like maybe billionaires or so are actually a little bit afraid of the left themselves, because if you see,
I think Pelosi has proven that she's had to kneel down a few times to him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, they got them ramped up. It's their
You
people.
remember
And
those
then once there's no backing down.
You remember those fat black women that took the microphone off Bernie Sanders?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
So funny.
Yeah, they
The
put
fucking
themselves in that corner, dude.
Yeah. The she beast with dagger nails ran up and grabbed the microphone off Bernie Sanders.
Remember,
Christ.
I was telling you guys last week about the protest that's still going on, the No Kings protest outside my.
Is it still going on?
So I couldn't get a video of it because I was with my wife and I was talking to her, but I was driving back home, and the day after he was killed, these fucking motherfuckers right back out there, and they're all white old boomers from Bucks County, Pennsylvania, with the no fashion. Like, you guys don't learn.
Well, yeah, you know what? I'm sure everybody saw the video of people like disrupting the visuals, and like if there's something I just have absolutely no tolerance for, it's like disrespecting people in a time of mourning. Like you could talk shit on Twitter, that's one thing, but if there's like a public vigil going on, I just have zero tolerance for people that could disrupt that. So when you've seen these videos of people that could disrupt the vigils, like just take these people in and fucking cane them, like anything to get them out.
Bro, that's free speech.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you saw, but people have been doing that, have been getting tuned up pretty good.
Yeah, tuned up.
Tuned up. That one guy in Iowa got fucked up.
There was a big one here that everybody saw, and it was like the dude that was running through it in a scooter yelling, "Fuck Charlie Kirk, fuck Charlie Kirk."
That was Iowa.
They tuned his ass up. There was another one here then, because it was all over the local news.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it's like kind of like, I don't give a fuck. Fuck him up. Who gives a shit?
I think this is the thing. It's like now people truly don't give a fuck. Like that.
Yeah.
It's like, the conservative angle during COVID was still like free speech. I don't think people should be ostracized from their jobs or taken away from their jobs, ostracized from society for saying these beliefs, even if we don't agree with them. And I mean, you saw it. The conservatives were just done. Like almost all of them on Twitter. You had some right-leaning libertarians that were like, no, they're going to use it against us. And it's like, bro, they've already used it against us. They've already, and you can use the same argument right back at them, and they lose all moral high ground, because you're like, what they told us is like, you're free to say whatever you want, but you're not free from the consequences of what you say. And it's like, well, look, have some fucking cake, bitch.
Right, exactly.
So I think it's when people become apathetic to violence or to, like, I don't know, some of our freedoms, it's bad. I don't think it's necessarily a good thing, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to fault the entire right for feeling apathetic towards what we upheld as the First Amendment free speech, especially when it's been weaponized against them time and time again, especially over the last 10 years. It's just, like, what do you want them to do? What do you want us to do?
I mean, you just heard it from Destiny right there. He just wants you to keel over so he can kill you. And that's all these arguments always resort to. Every time they appeal to the Constitution, it's always to disarm you from doing something effective. Well, it's like, I'm sorry, this document was made, which, as Sam Hyde said, this document was literally made on a foreign planet. Related to today. I'm not going to be held in this thing. It's a straitjacket. No, this argument doesn't work on me anymore, dude. I want the left completely disenfranchised. Period. And I will not stop.
When have they ever respected the document? That's the other thing. It's like, when have they ever respected the document? They want to repeal half the things in it anyways, because
it's only a cudgel. Yeah, it's only a cudgel when they want to use it against.
When they can use it against the right.
It's the same thing whenever they address Christianity, man. Like, turn the other cheek. Yeah. It's like, you guys are all literal like atheists who, like, make music videos of God getting ass raped by Satan. It's like, fuck all of you.
How many memes are there out there where it's like, like, I'm not Christian, but this is how Jesus would act if he was alive today, and I'm totally liberal. He's liberal. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't even act like that. Like, that's the problem. They don't even act like
you're
that.
not even doing it.
At least, at least if they were like from some moral high ground of like always being accepting and turning the other cheek, and like that's the way that they lived there. That was their platform. Then at least they could use it and like throw it back in the faces of the people. But they don't even do it. They're just like, nah, everything's nihilistic. Nothing matters. This world is completely random, and we're just doing whatever we want on it because nothing matters. Because nothing matters. And if nothing matters, then what's the point? What's the point of upholding any kind of moral like obligation to people around you? There's zero. There's none whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm a little disappointed in the FBI right now. Like, well, I've always been disappointed in the FBI my entire life.
Cash Patel gets an F from the last week.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, and dude, Dan Bongino, you think this would hit Dan Bongino like really hard? Like, he literally ran like
I haven't seen anything from him.
And I've seen a few things, but it's just like, dude, like, you think these guys would be like running through walls right now, like trying to do anything and everything, especially after they fumbled with this, like the Epstein stuff. It's just like, dude, you like, they're not even like Cash Patel went on Fox and said that he needed to, we have to find these people and talk to them. It's like, dude, talk to them.
Dude, fucking hire right-wing anons on Twitter, man. They literally did your fucking job for you, and they did it for free.
Yep,
that's true too.
Making websites, like the Charlie'sMurderers.com thing.
Joe Biden was sending people through and like kicking in doors over January. People that had flags outside the Capitol and like kicking in doors. They were dragging people out in their underwear, and they left no stone unturned. If there was someone near around the Capitol, you were getting arrested and at least being interrogated. And some of those people got thrown in solitary confinement for like 2 years.
Yep.
And so like you're telling me you can't go kick in doors to find this group that got someone assassinated? Like, it's crazy.
He said tell Valhalla, brother. All right, he did his job.
I hate that guy.
Oh my god, they're just an entire race of scammers all the way through and through, man.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I've become more and more racist against Indians by the day. Every single time I see one, I'm like, oh, you mother.
Dude, I thought Cash Patel would actually give like some credit to him or something, but it's been the exact opposite. Like Stephen Miller, at least like is like their one guy on the Jewish side that's like, okay, we got one good guy out there.
He's done more to combat anti-Semitism than the ADL, the SPLC, all of them combined, man.
Exactly. But Cash Patel is dropping the ball for the Jeets, man. He is dropping the ball for them right now.
Yeah, he's not doing a good job.
And then didn't you guys see those reports about the FBI where like people were like reporting to them a few days before the event, like they noticed a guy on the roof?
Yeah,
and it's that meme. It's like, say the line again.
It's
like we were on our radar, but we
radar. Yeah.
It's not just the really shitty, press conferences they were doing, which was already bad enough, but the addition of just how they completely fumbled it on the day of when they tweeted out like 3 or 4 different times. It's like, we've apprehended a suspect. We've let him go. We've apprehended another suspect. We've let him go again. And a third time, it's like fucking 3 little pigs here. Like who is running this shit?
Person of interest, not
suspect,
you might as well
just
and that's what they said. They wanted everybody to know.
It's like you could not say anything until it's like more
just don't say anything.
Solidified, right? Just don't say anything. You're like a fucking idiot.
With that whole deal, it's like you guys might as well have just not said anything until you knew it was the person. Why would you like? Okay, where you're trying to be transparent. Okay, well, it just does not look good. You should just shut up until you know you got something solid. Speaking
this quote right here.
Yes.
Right here. This has fucking pissed me off. God
people
damn
watch
week.
So for people listening, because this is also an audio platform, Cole said so many retards are saying that the shot is literally impossible unless you are a trained sniper. 200 yards out with the rifle under no pressure is so easy. It's
especially
so unbelievably
when
easy.
you think the person, and they're like, well, it's different shooting an animal, even if he was trained to hunt. It's different shooting an animal than a human being. And it's like, no, not if you think they deserve to die. Like it's like he thought that Charlie Kirk deserved to die because he shot him. He shot him. and murdered.
Yeah, and he was prone,
Like,
right? It's like so
and he was
simple.
prone. It makes it even easier.
People watch
It's
action
one of the-
movies and they're
we
like,
shoot-
"That's real life."
Mm-hmm.
And
people
like we talk about it. Typo and I talked about it. It's like, look, in the Marine Corps, and I'm not saying the Marine Corps shooting ranges for like just regular fucking like the regular people in the Marine Corps. We were pogues. I was a radio operator. He was intel. Like we had to go and qualify on the range, and we shoot from 200 yards standing up and hit your fucking target. Like it's not
Kneeling, not
difficult.
standing.
Bro, we did it in the
No,
NYPD.
standing and then kneeling.
We did it in NYPD. Like we were shooting rifles
Yeah.
200 yards out. Like it's not hard.
Yeah, dude,
I can
was
hit
just-
a man-sized target 10 out of 10 times, maybe
so
9 out of
easy.
10 at
Especially with the
500 meters pro.
With
Yeah.
the scope,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
crazy. Like,
absolutely.
yeah.
Here's the thing.
It's insane.
So many doofuses on Twitter have played like a bunch of Call of Duty games and stuff where there's
Right.
like no bullet drop or anything, and
Right.
people get these like retarded images of how ballistics work and stuff, and they see where the
Yeah.
bullet goes, and they
So
assume that is where the shooter intended it to go every time. I
Right.
guarantee you, this is literally what happened. This guy was sitting up that roof. Kirk was talking for about 25-30 minutes before he eventually got shot. He had all the time in the world to set up that shot, and I guarantee you he was aiming for his head, and the bullet dropped at 200 yards at him. in the neck.
Absolutely.
I guarantee you that is what
That's
happened.
yeah, and
100%.
from all the military guys and guys who I know that are way better at shooting than me have pretty much said the exact same thing. Everybody I know said, "Oh yeah, that shot would not have been difficult from 200
Or
yards."
he
It's
jerked and it went up. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter
Right.
if he was
going
aiming
for
for
the chest or the
or
head.
chest.
He wasn't going for the neck
Yeah.
for sure.
right.
And everybody's like windage, and I was like, "There's no windage at 200 fucking yards. Like he's a
People are
non-moving
fucking- I'm telling you.
target. Like
Video game
Ah.
retards and movie retards are just all on X the last few days. Being like,
and-
it's impossible. Like
in
he
that
shot from 4
space-
miles away.
Unless there is like hurricane level winds,
absolutely,
Oh,
absolutely.
hurricane level winds, the size of the target and the bullet drop. If you shoot center mass, if you aim center mass, you do not have to calculate for windage
Nope.
or for bullet drop in that
Right.
area. You will still hit a kill shot.
Absolutely.
It's not relevant
Absolutely.
at all. And it's an easy shot at 200 meters.
People were saying the same shit about this with Donald Trump as well about this. It's like, dude, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a little bit more of a question mark situation because the guy was literally shooting with iron sights. But the same thing, like where you saw the conspiracy theories, mostly by the leftoids on this one, were like, well, Donald Trump turned his head and the sniper intentionally shot him in the ear just so it would avoid him and it would make Trump look really cool. It's like,
Yeah,
dude,
that
shut
was
the flying fuck up.
insane.
Right.
Trump was literally
Right.
saved by the hand of Jesus Christ himself,
Yes.
man. That's what happened there. All right.
Well, we're I know Adam's got to go here in a few minutes, so I just wanted to kind of wrap on who we think exactly is guilty, because I said earlier that like everybody's jumping on the corpse to push their narrative and say what they want to say. I think Typo, Hawk, and I are probably in the same camp. I'm not quite sure about Sam, Luke, and Adam. Hawk, why don't you take it away first?
I mean, I've seen a lot of people trying to move off like the center target here of listen, guys, all right. You can only red pill people so many times on one thing at once. Okay. We just woke up a bunch of people to the absolute depravity and the violence of the left. Okay. Trying to weasel in the JQ stuff in this at the same time is just not going to work, dude. It's not. This is going to be used as a fracture by our enemies, by foreign powers, and even by some other people on the right to move the target away from what action needs to be done right now. We literally have a chance to do some very, very serious actions against leftist NGOs and networks, and we can deal with like Israel and the JQ stuff another time, okay? Trying to move everybody off the target saying, Mossad took out Charlie Kirk in the most graphic way possible because 2 months ago on a podcast, he said one bad thing about Israel. It's like, dude, literally just shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
You're literally in
right.
clown world right
Thank
now. Just
you.
stop. People's minds have literally just been controlled by Jews, man. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank
no,
you.
I
It's
agree.
bad.
Okay, yeah, I'm
I
glad
actually
that
agree. I agree with everything Hawk just said. Like that's
Okay,
100% true. Like it is suspicious that like you're hearing all these things come out, recently about like Charlie had a conversation with some guy over here about like, the whole going off the Israel thing, which I'm sure is true. But I don't think in the week, like Hawk said, the week that happened, they were like, let's put together this massive assassination. But no, it was a true terror cell. That's what it was.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree with this more. And it's so frustrating because it's like you guys realize like this isn't even in Israel's interest. Like Charlie Kirk was the one people cherry pick all these anti-Israel clips that Charlie Kirk said. And yeah, he did say like some legitimately good stuff, but like he pushed a lot of pro-Israel stuff. And like that's neither here nor there. I'm not here to like completely condemn him as I did in the past, but like right now that's not the issue at hand. Like
bigger
Hawk
fish
said.
to fry.
So yeah,
dude, that's one of the things that's woken me up the most in this whole thing. It's like, dude, I'm going to be much more forgiving of other people on the right for a lot of things from now on, because it's like, dude, we're all fighting the same enemy at the end of the day, man. And some people take a little bit longer to get to our positions than others, man. But you know, I feel bad. I really do feel bad that I didn't realize how honorable and how effective Charlie Kirk was until after the man died.
Right. Yeah. And the whole thing with like, if Israel did kill him, once again, it's not in their interest because Charlie was still pro-Israel. There's nobody who's going to be as effective as him that's going to be as pro-Israel as he was. So like who fills those shoes that isn't like, because it's pretty much all people like us that's after Charlie. Like Tucker's not pro-Israel, neither is Candace. And what are they going to try to do? AstroTurf, Ben Shapiro. Like, I'm sorry, no one's going to buy that. And if they do, then it's like, okay, well then obviously it was, but like, I don't know. I'm just not convinced by that at all. That just, hey, a couple podcast clips, he said some questions and they're like, oh yeah, well, we got off him now because he said some things on a podcast. Like to me, it just, I'm sorry, it doesn't wash. It could be, but to me, I'm not buying it.
Yeah, I mean, it could be true. It could be, you know, but also like just from like a tactical perspective, it's just not going to work, man. You can only like fry Normie's brain so much on like one of these topics at one time. It's just not going to work, dude. So even if it is true, like, you know, like episode 4 in Star Wars, man, stay on target. You know, I mean,
I was just gonna say that, like, you know, people are like, oh wow, they're jumping on Charlie to make him seem like, you know, like BB coming out and be like, you know, he basically capitalized on his death and was like, he was such a friend of Israel and like, oh, they're doing that because he was going to turn. It's like, no, these people are just sick and they're going to use this catastrophe as a crisis, and then they're going to use it to their advantage. Yeah, that's just literally what these, you know, elites do when they're trying whatever agenda they have. I mean, you know, Laura Loomer was like, oh, it was, you know, like made, you know, off color. Like, I don't know if she all went for it, but she was basically saying like this could have been Muslim Brotherhood or like stuff like, because I saw Zionists saying that shit too. But the reality is like, we don't know that much right now, but large parts of the evidence, like there's no connection to anything else besides the left. And regardless of who actually did it, the reaction from the left was the most shocking part of all of it. I mean,
100%.
Man's death.
100%.
So the reaction from the left was the thing that stuck out the most to everybody.
And I honestly think that's what's radicalized people more than the actual shooting itself. Seeing that your school teacher, your nurse, you know, talking this way and dancing on graves has probably radicalized people more than the actual footage itself.
Like, again, my wife's in academia. I mean, granted, she's in a Catholic school, so it's a little different, but she said there were some teachers rumbling about like, get them, good, fuck them. And it's like, dude, these people are fucking awful.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Catholic school teachers.
But
that's amazing.
So I'll just give my piece. Like, everybody wants the conspiracy to be, you know, Muslim Brotherhood, this, that, or the other. The conspiracy, the true conspiracy is that you can grow up as a white Christian male in southern Utah and be radicalized by your public education system from kindergarten all the way through 6 months of university to hate people that speak the exact same way as your father. That's the conspiracy. Mm-hmm. That's the issue. They will raise your children because you aren't. You're sending them there. And I mean, it's kind of the only option in most people's cases right now. But they are sending you, you're sending your kids to indoctrination camps that will make them hate you. That's the conspiracy. And that's how I feel about it. That's exactly why I think he did what he did, regardless of if he was trans, dating trans, gay, like it doesn't matter. That's the conspiracy. And that's worse, in my opinion.
Yeah, the Muslim brother, first we know how they do things. They go Allah Akbar and then boom. That's what they do. They're not taking fucking sniper shots from 200 yards away. You know, it's silly. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Well,
they didn't have that many good snipers, anyways.
True.
I think we're right at the end of the show. Sam, do you got anything else you want to add, or do you want to do plugs?
Follow me on MySpace.
Okay, cool.
Great.
Common Con just played with Hinder this past weekend. It was really cool. We have another show up in Erie, Pennsylvania on the 27th. So if you're up that way, feel free to come see us. I have I forget the guy's name who's coming on, but we're going to be talking about regenerative agriculture and farming this week on in Liberty and Health. So be sure to tune in for that. And of course, everybody go to the Patreon one more time, Common on Twitter, and check out the Great Megalodon on Substack for all just stuff about heavy metal, none of this kind of stuff, a little bit more easy reading. And Hawk, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, dude, Hawk, please tell us where we can find you.
Just head on over to the Old Glory Club. If people want to check out our Substack, I put out a piece on Friday with many of my thoughts relating to the assassination and what the Trump team must do in the next 2 weeks, or pretty much we're all fucked. So if people want to go check that out, go look over there. And then on Sundays on my own channel, Red Hawk, I play video games. So if people want to come and chill, they can come and watch.
I tagged all the Hawk stuff on the YouTube description, so I'm sure most people already follow him in here. But if you don't, go check out Hawk. He's a fucking man. Follow me at Adam Nutter on Instagram and X, and the Adam Nutter on TikTok. And please, again, like Kyle said, go follow the Patreon. We're putting out some bangers. They're fun as shit. I think this week we're gonna do Dinosaurs Are Fake and Gay. So I think we're doing that one. That's all for Kyle. And then go check out the 5 Till Midnight Instagram, 5_till_midnight, and then the 5 Till Midnight X also, same 5 Till Midnight. So go check those out. Please follow us and support us. Thanks, boys and ladies.
And keep it real, Luke, on X, and biting bullet memes on Instagram.
Yeah, at the Real Typo on Twitter and at the Real Typo on Instagram. I've been posting Instagram more, so check me out there.
Boom. Cool. Hawk, you're the man. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Yeah, thanks, dude. It was awesome.
Good to talk to you, fellas, as always.
All right, everybody.
Yeah. All right.